And this is one of the oldest pure breed dogs of all time, actually. It goes back 2,000-3,000 years. The first European encounter with one of these dogs was Marco Polo, who described them as large, fierce black dogs as big as donkeys. Honestly, we'll meet one in a couple of minutes. Brilliant. Chris, someone's going to bring in a Tibetan Mastiff, a monster called Leah, described as a donkey size by Marco Polo.
Yeah, that's quite close. Quite accurate.
We'll see in a sec. In the studio now, we've got Andy Briggs. How are you, Andy?
Yeah, good afternoon. How are you?
I'm very well. You were bringing in this dog, Andy, which I was a little bit fearful of on paper because it's described as a Tibetan Mastiff. And as we said, we did some research on this, and this breed of dog is thousands of years old, 2,000 or 3,000 years.
Absolutely, yeah.
And apparently the first European encounter with this dog that's on record was Marco Polo, of course, when he was out exploring the world, and he said, quote, "They were like large, fierce black dogs as big as donkeys," which made me a little bit nervous about your visit, to be honest.
Yeah, so they're not quite as bad as that now. I think there's several reasons for that description. First of all, it transpires that Tibetan donkeys are nothing like as big as donkeys you see on the beach, to be honest. Yeah.
So they're more like Shetland ponies than donkeys.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, the Tibetan people themselves wouldn't be the biggest people in the world, so I guess the dogs would have looked larger. But I think, generally, they probably were larger, but we don't have any real evidence of that.
Real ones.
Let's face it, over the centuries, these travellers, explorers, descriptions and tales and stories, I would imagine would be exaggerated. Let's face it.
They'll get more kudos at the pub, won't they, if they said they encountered dogs at the size of a horse?
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess there's been a slight exaggeration, but they are a large breed, but not a giant breed.
So the dog you brought in question is Lady Leah, who actually, if you don't have pictures, obviously if you listen to the radio, you wouldn't even think when a dog here, she's so calm and collected and placid.
She's very placid.
Just rattle the lead, or do something, just to let us know that, see, there is a dog here. And she is quite an amazing animal, and she's a prize winner, because of course Crufts coming up at the weekend. She won an award last year.
She won Best Bitch at Crufts last year, which was an honour for me. She has won, various other Best of Breed and Best Bitch prizes at champ shows, but obviously Crufts is the ultimate.
Yeah.
That's what everybody strives to achieve, and we're absolutely delighted. And last year she was in the running for the Dog World Pedigree Chum Top Dogs competition and came out on top. So she was not only the top winning Tibetan Mastiff bitch last year, she was a Tibetan Mastiff full stop, either dog or bitch.
Yeah.
And for a bitch to take it is quite an achievement, really, because dogs are more impressive and generally would get the better prize than the bitch.
Does she, how top models and very good-looking movie stars?
I don't know many.
Well, you watch them on the telly, and they kind of swagger around the place because they know they're beautiful.
Yeah.
Does she know that she's a cut above the rest? Does she have a bit of a swagger about her?
I keep telling her, I keep whispering in her ear, how gorgeous she is, but she takes it all in her stride, quite honestly. Yeah, she's very laid back, very placid.
We're talking about peculiar dog names, Andy. We've had some weird suggestions. Chicken, for one. Zia was another. Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is another dog going to Crufts. We've also had, what have we had? We've had Window, a dog called Tyke. Not a dog, but my grandparents had a cat called Love. And my granddad refused to call it in from Kate. And another one from Mrs. Rag. Our dog's called Whitby. Now, I've heard that you've got quite a few dogs at home, haven't you? Lee isn't the only one.
Yeah, we're just creeping up into the double figures now.
Figures? Are they all massive dogs like Leah as well?
All but one. We have one small crossbred terrier who stands at 14 inches, thinks he's cocker than half, and he's a top dog, of course, like all little terriers, horrible little things. Toby Joe. Hi, Toby, if you're listening.
Any dogs with kind of human-sounding names? our breakfast presenter has a dog called Derek, which doesn't sound quite right for a dog.
No.
Anything like that?
No. I tend to go for more, resounding names like, Einstein and Hezekiah III and things like that.
Have you got a dog called Hezekiah III?
I've got one of our puppies, Hezekiah III, yeah, absolutely. It's a long story, I won't go into it, but it's named after an old ancestor of mine from Bingley, so... yeah, Hezekiah III.
Is that what you'd call to him in the park if you're calling to get back on the lead?
Kaya.
That's slightly easier, isn't it?
Kaya's his pet name, but no, I don't like silly names.
It's BBC Radio Leeds with Bob Walmsley. Andy Briggs is also with us with his dog. Was she called... A full name is not...
full Kennel Club official name is Heronsview Lady Leah of Savannah, which is quite a mouthful to shout across the park. So, Leah... or Lee.
That'll do.
What she gets.
We'll have more from Andy after this song from Carly Simon. This is The Right Thing to Do.
There's nothing you can do.